Garcia. Nelson Arboleda. Maria Garcia. And all the way from Chile, Giselle Uribe. Also joining us today, the commander of 436th Airlift Wing, Colonel Chris McDonald. Representing the Command Chief, 436th Airlift Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Robert Klein. And the Director of Staff, 436th Airlift Wing, Mr. George Dawson. We also would like to welcome all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, their spouses, other members of Team Dover, and especially the men and women of the 436th Wing Staff Agency. We appreciate your presence and camaraderie, and thank all of you for being with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party, the singing of our national anthem, and the invocation.
Please join me. Almighty God, we thank you for the many leaders you placed before us. And today we want to thank you for the life and service Sergeant Charles Preston. We thank you for his passion and drive as he has dedicated much of his time making sacrifices to take care of others and serving his country for 22 years. Lord, we thank you for his family who has played a major role throughout his career as they have loved and supported him every step of the way. Today we look to you for your blessing as he transitions from Sergeant Preston to Charles and from active duty to active retirement in the United States Air Force. As the Crespo family closes one door and opens the next, we ask that you continue to be the light to their path as they look to you for your guidance, and continue to be their strength as they lean on you through the hard times. Keep them with your peace and your love and protection, and may they always know that you are with them. We thank you for every breath and every day you have given us. In your mighty name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Junior ROTC Color Guard, Captain Rowling for the invocation, and A1C Admin for the beautiful rendition of the national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the officiating officer for today's ceremony, the Deputy Commander, 436 Airlift Wing, Colonel Justin Longmire.
Before I begin talking about our guest of honor today, I have a lot of thank yous to go through. I'm going to do these out of order from normal protocol, and I'm going to offer the very first thank you, honestly, to Sergeant Crespo himself. Most people only get one retirement from the Air Force, and you've done me a great honor asking me to be a part of it here today. I'll cherish this memory in this historic museum with these phenomenal airmen and teammates the rest of my life. Thank you for doing me that honor. To Bugs and to Bree, and everybody else who took part in putting this ceremony together today, thank you for running the logistics and behind the scenes activities to pull this together. We all know that coordinating an event like this takes a ton of effort and attention to detail. Thank you for making today special to the Crespo family. Will you please join me in giving them a round of applause? Chief, George, to the maintenance group leadership here, to the MXS leadership here, to the wing staff agencies that are here today, to Rusty, my beautiful bride. Thank you all for being here today. This is going to be an amazing event. I'm excited to brag on Charles a little bit today. To the family of Charles that are with us today, I'm going to say thank you the most. This ceremony today is really for you. I'm going to be talking to this front couple of rows most of the time today. This is our last chance to tell you how amazing Charles is and to brag about all the cool things that he's done for our country. As military members, we all get to do amazing things every day, but we forget to tell our family about those things. Charles thinks it's very normal to take apart an airplane like one of these and put it back together. That's actually a fascinating activity that your family wants to hear about from you. Taking a landing gear off of an aircraft or replacing a boom is pretty cool, and you've done it hundreds of times. And we're here to brag about all those accomplishments. My goal here today is to plant some seeds. I want to plant some seeds of stories for all of you to ask him about later. He has so many stories to tell, and you should ask him about them. I hope that's what we achieve here today. Finally, I want to give one additional special thank you to Charles' lovely wife and children. Military members serve. We raise our right hand and we take an oath. And that means that the immediate family that we take with us, you have to sacrifice. You guys have had to move, you've had to change schools, find a new community, you've had to deal with deployments and late nights and long trips away. Thank you for your sacrifice, because without you, Charles could not have served. You know, in a lot of military retirements, you get to hear all about the individual accomplishments of the members. But today, you actually get to see some of those accomplishments in this museum. You see, Sergeant Crespo has worked on nearly every aircraft in the Air Force inventory. He's worked on many at this museum. Not these two. He hasn't worked on these two. But if you walk around this museum, especially if you go outside and you see a KC-135, and you see a C-5, you see a KC-10, and you see some other mobility aircraft out there, those are all aircraft that he's worked on. There's also a video playing just behind the honor guard back there that talks about maintainers. And just about every single solitary aircraft in that video, he has worked on during his career. In the Air Force, if you say you're a maintainer, then you need to say what flavor of maintainer you are. Charles was a hydraulics troop, which means everything he dealt with was in some way connected to the hydraulic system of the aircraft. Hydro troops are a special breed. You see, nearly everything that they touch is huge and greasy and covered in hydraulic fluid, because we use hydraulics to move things that are too heavy for an electric motor or a human to move around. Those are things like landing gear, flaps, cargo ramps, air refueling booms, control surfaces of giant aircraft. And they always get called in when those things don't work. And there's usually a leak. There's usually hydraulic fluid spraying. It's always messy. It's always dirty work. It's tough to work. They're a special breed. If you look at his career, it spanned 22 years. He's had a remarkable time as a maintainer. Beginning at Little Rock, he worked on multiple models of C-130s. He deployed for the first time. And from that beginning, he then traveled to Japan, to Florida, and Germany, and Delaware for his permanent changes of station, with many, many side trips and deployments along the way. If you look through his records and add up some numbers, all in all, he has impacted at least 34,222 missions. That's not 34,222 flying hours. That's 34,222 Air Force missions. That means he directly worked or scheduled or upgraded or managed over 34,000 missions in his career. That's unbelievable. If you ask how is that possible, it's because he grew. He advanced from working on one airplane to working on many airplanes. And then he supervised a lot of maintainers. And he helped them with their individual tasks. He trained other maintainers to manage whole fleets of aircraft. He was a section chief. He was a program manager. He oversaw lots of different kinds of maintenance. If you look at the value of all of the aircraft fleets that he's worked on, it totals to over $8.3 billion worth of Air Force assets that he had an impact on. That includes C-130s, KC-135s, F-16s, C-5s, C-17s, E-3 AWACS, B-1s. I shouldn't have really put a list together because now he's going to correct me later and tell me all the airplanes that I forgot. But there's dozens more as well. He was a leader and a professional, and he knew his stuff. He's a terrific maintainer, and you should be proud of him. You should be proud of your husband, your father, your son, your friend. He's an amazing airman. Earlier I told you that this place here is special because we can see some of the aircraft that Charles worked on. One item that I really want to call attention to is in the back corner of this hangar. Back over my right shoulder is a long metal tube with black flaps on it. That's an air refueling boom from a KC-135. And that's a life-changing item for Sergeant Crespo. See, that part is attached to the back of a huge tanker aircraft, and it allows the tanker to connect that aircraft to other aircraft and deliver fuel mid-air. You're probably not surprised to hear that that giant component is hydraulically powered, and when it breaks or needs to be replaced, we call it hydro troops. When Charles first started working on those aircraft, it took 12 to 13 hours to remove a boom from a KC-135 and put it back on. But his unit refined those procedures. And they found ways to do it more efficiently. And it eventually got that down to about 2.5 hours. But while hydro troops got really good at doing this job, still dangerous work. That boom weighs thousands of pounds. And if the weight isn't supported just right, then it can fall. Which is exactly what happened to Charles. For those of you that don't know, more than 12 years ago, during a job to remove and replace the KC-135 boom, the boom fell and crushed him. By all accounts, honestly, it probably should have killed him. But he's tough. I won't go into all the gory details of the injuries, but as he sits in that chair, he still has 13 screws, give or take, in his neck. But that wouldn't keep him away from doing the work that he loved. In fact, earlier I said most people have one retirement from the Air Force. This is, in fact, his second retirement from the Air Force. You see, in 2012, the Air Force tried to medically retire him. And after many months of fighting, Sergeant Crespo said, no, thank you. I don't want to medically retire yet. I have more to give. He got the Air Force to change their mind, and he returned to active duty because he wasn't done serving it. After his accident, he continued his maintenance career, but he also dove more deeply into the Air Force language program and started using his Spanish language skills. He attained the highest level of language qualification and was certified as a translator by the Air Force Culture and Language Center. He traveled all over the world. Part of the reason that some of you are here today is when he did some of those trips. Most recently, he was a translator for the 12th Air Force, Commanders South America Air Chief Conference, where he facilitated discussion among 8 different generals. Now listen, I've been around some senior leaders when there's just 2 of them speaking my language, so I cannot imagine what it's like to be in the midst of 8 different general officers trying to translate among them. God bless you for that. That had to be done. Here at Dover, he's championed recruiting and retention efforts as the Aviation Inspiration Mentorship Program lead for the Wing. That's a program normally led by a commissioned officer at most bases. He actively worked to recruit future airmen into aviation and maintenance careers, and even held a career fair for over 400 aviation candidates. His efforts were noticed by the Pentagon, and some of his programs were copied by our air staff, and they're now Air Force level programs. I don't have enough time to tell every story from his career, but I'll close by asking the Crespo family and friends to keep asking him to tell his stories. I didn't have time to tell you about the F-16 crash recovery that he was a part of, or his many deployments, or what he did for Hurricane Katrina relief, or Hurricane Rita relief, or any of the giant exercises that he took part in, which you should ask him. Those are questions that you should ask him. He's led a remarkable life thus far. He's served his country well, and I want to say thank you for sharing him with our Air Force. And thank you for allowing and enabling him to serve in such an amazing way. Charles, thank you for your service. Less than 1% of Americans serve in our armed forces, and you are among those privileged few. You've been an inspiration to your fellow airmen and an asset for our Air Force. You will be impossible to replace. But you've trained a legion of airmen who will try to do so. So on behalf of the grateful nation, I want to say thank you, good and faithful servant. Proceed with the retirement ceremony. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel Wildmeyer presents Technical Sergeant Crespo, the Air Force Commendation Medal for faithful, dedicated service to his country and the United States Air Force. Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Commendation Medal. Technical Sergeant Charles Crespo distinguished himself by meritorious service as a wing diversity and improvement manager. 436 Airlift Wing, Dover Air Force Base, Delaware. During this period, Sergeant Crespo advised the wing commander on diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility efforts, and supported the Aviation Inspiration Mentorship Wing Program directly. Furthermore, Sergeant Crespo drove the Aviation Mentorship Program when he matched a $10,000 budget, enabling the wing to host a aviator candidates and provide scholarships for underprivileged youth to attend aviation summer camp. Finally, he was appointed as a translator and cultural liaison for the 12th Air Force Air Chief Conference supporting the United States Air Force Cultural and Language Center, strengthening international partnerships among allies. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Technical Sergeant Crespo culminate a long and distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Please remain standing for the reading of the retirement order. Attention to order. Department of the Air Force, Washington, D.C. Special Order Number AC-00200, effective 6 January 2025. You are relieved from active duty, organization, and station of assignment. You are retired effective 6 January 2025 per Air Force Instruction 36-3203 in the grade of Technical Sergeant. Proceed to home of selection by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. We would like to invite Mrs. Matias to the stage. Mrs. Matias will now fix the retirement pin on her husband's lapel. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall seal these, presents greetings. This is to certify that Technical Sergeant Charles Crespo, having served faithfully and honorably, will be retired from the United States Air Force on the 6th day of January 2025. Signed, Colonel William McDonald, Commander, 436 Airlift Wing. Certificate of Appreciation from the President for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States. Technical Sergeant Charles Crespo, I extend to you my personal thanks and the sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and a spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud tradition of the military service. Your commitment and dedication have been inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job truly well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Joe Biden, Commander-in-Chief.
You have listened to several accounts of Technical Sergeant Crespo's service to our nation. However, we know that such service is not done without the love and support of our families. At this time, we will recognize the contributions of Mrs. Matias with the presentation of her Air Force Certificate of Appreciation and military spouses honoring. We would like to invite Mrs. Matias to the stage. Mrs. Matias did not wear a uniform, yet she served her country. She did not apply or wear ribbons showing where she had been, yet she went. She did not ask for the duty she performed, yet she unwaveringly served to the best of her ability. She served, yet was not honored with trinkets or pieces of cloth showing her service. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Edmary Matias for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service, given the 6th day of December 2024, signed Colonel William C. McDonald, Commander, 436 Airlift Wing, United States Air Force. We would like to invite Ian and Perla to the stage. In grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate in recognition of the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your father's military service. Signed, Colonel William C. McDonald, Commander, 436 Airlift Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the center of the stage where the Dover Air Force Base Honor Guard will have a presentation for Technical Sergeant Charles Preston.
like to forget. It's over there in the room. Anyway, but what I was going to say, I'm deeply thankful for my wife and the kids. That's the most important thing. They've been pushing me, and I wanted to quit sometimes, even when I'm retired. My family, when I read my family, my kids, and my wife, they push me to do better every time. So I'm deeply grateful because when I was quitting, they were there and they showed me the way to stay strong for me and for them and to continue with my life. So, like Colonel Meyer mentioned, I've been all over the world. I've deployed numerous places, done many things. But one of the greatest things I've done is in the Air Force, got to do with being in Dover and helping them. And I took that to heart because I was about to retire 2 years ago. When I got here, you know what? Do 1 year tomorrow. I felt that I was doing a difference because it didn't matter to me what it was, and I stayed as long as I could until the medical board decided, you know what, that's enough. You had a good run. But I didn't do this alone too. I have friends that have been with me, Senior Master Sergeant Rodriguez, he's in Germany, friend of mine since Little Rock Airport, close together. There's so many to mention. Had upside down. Fun fact is I don't remember them today. The downs. I just remember the doing the diversity and inclusion. It felt that I was actually helping organizations do better, how to work together. Because I think we're going through a moment in history where we were not working well with each other. And we started doing the job to help everybody get together, working together, accept each other the way we are, to improve the work and the results that we get from having a diverse group of individuals actually working together. Because you look around, are we not diverse? We are diverse. It's the problem of working together. We respect each other. That is what I was so passionate about this and probably to stay longer than I ever imagined I was going to do that. And I did it with a smile on my face, with passion, and I love every single second I'm here to go over here. I love every station. I've been in Europe with my family. I was stationed at my bill, but everything was stuck on my bill. But not about this, but I was up for almost 10 years. Yeah, I've been blessed with this career, and I appreciate every one of you that actually have crossed paths, because even on the negative side, I learned something from those interactions. It made me better, and I'm not just only wanting to get better, I make sure that everyone around me was better. And that's what I did with my passion, and trying to get more people talented to their schools. I really don't have any regrets. I love every second of my career there. And to be honest, I was afraid for this day, but now that it's here, extremely grateful and happy for all of you that came around with me and impacted my life in one way or the other. Thank you to Miss B, Jacqueline, Dr. Gilbert, one of my go-to guys. It's been rough to think about moving to Puerto Rico just because this team was so amazing that it made me question that to go back home because I felt like home. And I will always be thankful. Again, thank you for those that came a long way to sell my compadres. There's no word in English. My compadres. But all, and it's been an amazing ride. I wish I could stay longer, to be honest with you. I felt like I was helping people, and there is no better gift than that, no better job. Sad to get this over going on. I can't wait to roll up your back. She doesn't like it. It's okay, I will share it. But thank you for everyone to be here. I love all of you. Thank you. Thank you.
Sergeant Crespo will present Tickets 2 through 4. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States Air Force is proud of Technical Sergeant Crespo's service to his country. We wish him and his family every success in his future endeavors. Please stand for the departure of the official party. I will all join in singing our Air Force song. Thank you for joining us today. Please join me for a reception at the community center this afternoon at 1500. This concludes the retirement ceremony.
Or hang out in here.
I'm going down the hallway. I don't want any hugs.
Who doesn't want hugs? Who doesn't want hugs? Come on.
This is for today. Up until yesterday, I've been saying my insurance every day, but it's getting cold.
You are coming over Wednesday for the open house.
Yes. What building? Okay.
I appreciate that.
You can just say yes.
And we'll have a John Brett coming to teach a stress management class from 11 a.m. to 12 at another 5 months. And we're going to be a thing. And they have a million trees apparently.
Oh, yeah. It's really nice of them to say that.
You can check out our renovation.
I did earlier this week. See you guys later.
Yes, they're not working today. Yes, they don't work during the exercise.
Miss B, are you in line? Nobody's in line. I see.
Next weekend we're going up to
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy?
I've never seen that document. This is rescinded. Better said. Right before.
How are you?
Good, how are you, sir? Your band is going to play Tuesday night
Are they?
at the Land. We do a concert for the troops.
Oh.
Christmas concert for the troops. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, 7 o'clock. At the Ballroom at the Land.
How's that getting advertised?
I have to talk to services.
Yeah, talk with
Deal with
services.
Sally up there.
Yeah, because I haven't heard about that one yet, but that's good to know. I'll spread the word.
Tuesday night.
All right.
Every discipline.
All right. Sounds good.
You're my 4th concert in 2 weeks. 2 more after that.
Y'all are jamming.
But it's Christmas time.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Nice seeing you.
I can see you.